Hi friends, this is Eric White. This screencast is a high-level overview of the 4 tools that I find indispensable for my Open XML development. The 4 tools are: first, the Open XML SDK productivity tool. This tool has lots of functionality that is very specific to building applications using the OpenXml SDK, although it's a very helpful tool even if you are building applications using something other than the OpenXml SDK. Second tool is the OpenXml package editor power tool for Visual Studio. If you have one of the paid versions of Visual Studio, then you can install an extension that enables you to drag and drop OpenXML documents onto Visual Studio and explore and change the markup in that document. The third tool is the OpenXml Tools extension for Chrome. It has a lot of the same functionality as the OpenXML package editor power tool. It has some different ways to accomplish certain things. In some ways it's more convenient than the OpenXML package editor power tool, and in some ways it does less for you than that one. The tools are almost interchangeable. One important thing about the OpenXml Tools extension for Chrome is that it's free. You can just download and install it on Chrome and use it without having a paid addition to Visual Studio. The fourth tool is the Power Tools for OpenXML, which are a set of commandlets that enable you to do some important functionality when you're doing OpenXML development. You can validate documents, you can get metrics on documents, you can merge documents, you can simplify markup, and so on. There are a lot of pieces of functionality in those PowerShell commandlets. I've recorded screencasts on all of those 4 tools. This is just going to be a super fast overview of each of those tools. Let's take them one at a time. First of all is the OpenXML SDK productivity tool. You can see a much more detailed demonstration of the OpenXML productivity tool at this location. In short, what it does is it enables you to drag and drop an OpenXML document onto the productivity tool. You can navigate to parts. Parts are indicated by these little square brackets. You can navigate to markup within those parts. You can use this tree view to find the particular element that you're interested in your part. One thing that's nice about this is you can right-click and tell it to view the documentation about that particular part. When you view the documentation, you can also click on the file format reference and see the text of the OpenXML standard. Another thing that you can do is you can do something called reflect code, and this generates OpenXML SDK code to generate the markup that you're interested in. This can make your job of writing OpenXML code a lot easier. This tool also enables you to compare two OpenXML documents. You can browse to 2 different documents and see the delta between those 2 documents. This is important when you're exploring markup. You don't even know what elements and attributes you're interested in, so you can create a document that doesn't have the relevant feature, create a copy of it, modify the copy it, add that relevant feature, then do a compare, and you can see exactly what markup was changed, and then you can research that markup in the OpenXML standard. This tool also has validation functionality. You can take any particular OpenXML document, drag and drop it onto the OpenXML SDK productivity tool, and you can click validate, and it'll tell you if there are any errors found in this. Go to this link to see a comprehensive screencast on the functionality of the OpenXML SDK productivity tool. The next tool of interest is the OpenXML package editor power tool for Visual Studio. Drag and drop any OpenXML document onto Visual Studio after you've installed this extension. You can then navigate all the parts, find the part you're interested in, double click on it, see the markup, markup, format the markup, look up and down. This uses the very excellent XML editor in Visual Studio. You can find a comprehensive demonstration of this tool at this link. The third tool is the OpenXml tools extension for Chrome. After installing this extension, you can drag and drop an OpenXml document onto that extension, onto Chrome, and you can also go through and look at the various parts. You can look at the XML, you can modify the XML, you can save your modifications and then download the modified document to your local drive. This has a lot of the same functionality as the OpenXml package editor power tool. They are both useful in different scenarios. One big advantage to this tool is that it's free. The OpenXml package editor power tool, it's free, but it requires that you have a paid version of Visual Studio. The fourth tool of interest is the power tools for OpenXml, which are a set of commandlets that enable you to do a number of interesting things to OpenXml documents. Easiest way to start PowerShell is in Windows Explorer. Go to the location where you want to start PowerShell, and you can type in PowerShell under ISE and get a PowerShell integrated scripting environment at that location. You can get a list of the commandlets in the power tools for OpenXml by typing get command -module oxpt. That'll list the current set of PowerShell commandlets that are available in power tools for OpenXml. There are things such as testing whether a document is valid or not. You can convert documents to HTML with a simple command line here. I can create a new docx by entering the commandlet new docx. I'll just add some content that's pretty plain content. This will create a very simple document. If I want to, I can specify another option here, which is load and save using Word. And what this does is PowerShell will then use word automation to load and save this document so that the markup that you see when you examine this document is exactly as Word would save it. One of the things that I like to do is I have a function in my profile.ps1 that enables me to type vs test.docx, and this will start Visual Studio with the OpenXml package editor power tool and show me that document. It's a convenient way to pop into the OpenXml package editor power tool. I can test whether this document is valid, and it tells me it is in fact a valid document. Let's say I want to get some metrics on that document. I can type, and this will report a lot of metrics associated with that document. I can find out what language the document's in. I can look at the style hierarchy. The way I do that is I do format XML, and this will return a little bit of XML that tells me the styles that are used in this document. There's a lot of interesting pieces of metrics that are returned by this commandlet. You can find a list of screencasts that discuss power tools for OpenXml at this link. That's all I'm going to cover in this video, short and sweet. 4 basic tools. Number 1 is the OpenXml SDK productivity tool. Number 2 is the OpenXml package editor power tool for Visual Studio. Number 3 is the Chrome OpenXml tools extension. And number 4 is power tools for OpenXml, which are a set of commandlets that make your life easier when you are dealing with OpenXml.